All right, we reached part 3 of getting the edge with your mind. What do you think it's going to be? I'm so excited.
The goal here is to learn how to treat your mind and body like a professional athlete. Welcome to Mind Your Body. I'm Dr. Audra Lance. I'm a doctor of chiropractic who specializes in treating sports and non-surgical injuries, anything that involves muscles and joints. I treat big-name celebrities and professional athletes. Most of my patients refer to me as the witch doctor because they can't explain any other way their pain was removed that quickly. I hate cooking, but I do love wine, and don't even think about giving me anything that involves ketchup because I will not eat it. Every episode of this show is designed to help you move better, live better, and feel better. Now let's go do this thing.
Hello, what up, my butthole breathers? How are you doing today? You're getting the post-work, if you're watching on YouTube, look. Yes, if you watched part 2, I'm still peeling just a little bit. It's almost gone. And we got the hair up, don't care, because treating clients all day, she gets put up pretty quick. So here I am, the real deal, the real me. But I was so excited when I was driving today. Like, this just worked out perfectly for part 3 to talk about what I want to talk to you about with a story. So what in part 3 are we going to do? So in part 1, if you haven't listened to part 1 and part 2, you need to do that first. Like, pause this, go back. Okay, so give you a moment to do it. It's totally fine. We'll be here. You know, my podcasts aren't super long. So part 1, finding the weakness. 2, getting uncomfortable. So you address those, maybe listen to a couple times, wrote some things down in each of those. Get your paper back out, whatever. Because now you're going to need to shut out the noise. Do you actually have the discipline to do this? And people have told me no, and that's cool. I understand, but you're not going to go get the results you want. You're going to have to realize that that's on you, because even if I'm giving you 1,000%, which I am if I'm working with you, but I can't do it for you. I can't be with you all day. I can't be in your mind. I can support you. I can do all the things, but unless you are going to say, yes, I'm going to do the discipline, I'm going to shut out the noise and focus on it. I'm going to sit and identify these patterns of if I'm self-sabotaging, I'm going to get uncomfortable and a little vulnerable. And that's how we're going to identify to work deeper, because I want to grow. I want to be better. I want to reach these goals. I want to feel my best. I want to have the best relationships. I want to be in the moment. I want to be present. I only live one life, and I will do whatever it can to feel good. And not only feel good, but feel great and be great. Because why not? What's the other option? Ew. But I get that's not for everyone, and that's okay. And maybe you just skip the podcast to another one. I have a lot of other helpful things on there. But for the people who are really interested in this brain work stuff and how it coincides with not only your pain and the stress component and all of it, this is for you guys. This is what this whole series has been about. Re-listen to it. Save it for later. Send to your friends who are like super growth minded or super wanting to get their hands dirty with you. Maybe someone that'll hold you accountable. You guys can go have coffee and celebrate that you're going to help each other. But part 3 is going to tell you, you got to shut out the noise, because so many people, it is funny. My husband and I are very growth minded people. And it's something I love it because we do it together, and we go out for date nights and have these amazing conversations of talking about our dreams and whatever. That being said, it's not always easy. And when you start to grow and when you start to learn some of the things about yourself and about if you have a partner or a best friend, whoever you're like having these conversations with, even I'm grateful I get to have them all day with my clients as well and help them in this aspect. Things get a little uncomfortable. They get vulnerable. You get a little scared. It's not always rainbows and sunshine, but if you do the work, the results on the other side at each level, each time you level up, is insane. That being said, there have been, obviously people in your life who aren't supportive of that or don't get it. And that's fine. Not everyone is here to do that, nor maybe some people aren't in a place to have some of those conversations, and that's totally fine. you don't know what someone's going through. And I just want to remind everyone of that. Everyone is fighting something, either like inside, something's happening to them. I mean, a battle that we don't know anything about. So before I get into like this other story about, shutting out the noise, like just take a breath and be a little kinder. We need some more kindness in this world. And if you run into someone just not nice, they could be having a bad day. You have no idea what's going on. And just smile at people. Take that step of complimenting them, of doing something to make them feel good. It's just going to pay off too. It's amazing. So, shutting out the noise. I had this amazing client, and they were, they're a little burnt out from everything going on. And I just said, listen, correct me if I'm wrong when I go through how you feel. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, listen, you're tired, you're beat up, everything kind of hurts, but it doesn't hurt that bad. There's some parts that are just like so stiff, and you're like, I've never felt this old and this stiff. I shouldn't feel this old. You're so exhausted, but even sleeping doesn't feel restful. Like you wake up still tired. You're kind of annoyed with people. It's just like you like people, but you hate people. Everyone's kind of annoying. And then you're mad at yourself because you have everything you've always dreamed of and more. And then you feel guilty because you don't feel like you don't appreciate it. You're not fully enjoying it. You can't fully be in the moment because you're so exhausted. You don't feel as creative, and you're just super run down, and you kind of want to quit. And then you feel guilty because you want to quit, and you're doing all of this, you're trying, but you feel so overwhelmed that, you feel like you're a little scared that you're really sick and you're never going to feel good again. You're not fully feeling happiness, even with all this, And they just looked at me and they're like, wow, how do you know exactly how I feel? And I was like, I've been there a time or two. My stuff that I've gone through, the burnout and the health and everything, has just made me be able to relate to a lot of other people going through it, because it's not talked about enough, because you feel so guilty. And what did we start doing today? Because they were like, okay. And I said, all right, we started with a couple little things. And then I was like, where do you think you're self-sabotaging yourself? And then we went into getting a little uncomfortable, and we identified some things. And I was like, listen, we don't have to start with, 100-page list. Do you know what I want you to do? Until you see me again, just every morning when you get out of bed. I mean, they don't have time like you. Like, everyone's so busy. No one has a bunch of time to just block off 4 hours in the morning to do everything they need to do in order to feel good. Let me pause. Let's change lanes without signaling, but I'm going to put my signal on. A couple weekends ago, my husband was out of town for like 24 hours, and I did the full routine of like sleeping till my body woke up. I go outside, ground, look at the sun. Then I took the dog on a walk. Then I ate my high protein breakfast, had a cup of coffee, and just like sat on the porch and just like tasted it and said the 5 things I'm grateful for. Then I popped myself in the sauna for 10 minutes, and then I did a cold plunge, and then I went and did a strength workout. And after the strength workout, I went on a walk by myself, and I just was, kind of talking to myself, all the things I'm grateful for, just trying to breathe and relax and be in the moment. And all that was so beautiful and amazing. Oh, and then I think after I took an Epsom salt, I laid on the PMF mat, maybe took an Epsom salt. I don't know. All the things. It took 4 hours. I'm like, I don't have that time. We busy. We doing some things. That being said, when I get the opportunity to do it again, I'm going to for sure do it again. It brought my nervous system down. It was so relaxing. And then of course you get more ideas and whatever. So that to be noted, like I get, and that's like with our clinic, we get people are busy and that you don't have, 4 hours every morning to actually do the full thing. But what can we squeeze in so that you win your morning and that you feel good? So all I'm having them do until I see them next is step outside in the morning, look at the sun, feel the ground, feel the sun on them, which is easy to do in Nashville, Tennessee right now. Just take a couple breaths and think of 5 things they're grateful for. That's where we're going to start. Because when you're so overwhelmed, and I know this might be you, and like, you're just like in it and you're just so caught up in your routine every day. And you're just like, I don't know how to stop this, but I'm not even like living my life. I'm doing the checklist. I'm getting the kids to school. I'm doing this at work. I'm doing that. And it's like, I want to, but I can't. You got to start small, and it's the small things that make bigger. And it's the small things that have the change. And I was like, how you will know this is working after we work for a couple weeks. I was like, it doesn't have to take forever, but it's not going to be a day. I was like, you might be like, Dr. Audra, I slept a little better. Like I noticed when I woke up, I didn't want to like lay in bed all day. Like I did want to get up and get my coffee or go on my walk or go. Dr. Audra, I actually had a creative idea. Like I thought of something. Or Dr. Audra, like I'm not as annoyed with people. Like these are good things and signs that this is working. And just the little things of just saying like, I'm fucking ready to do this. I'm so sick of feeling like I'm not even doing good, or I know I can be great. Like I'm sick of the pain. I'm sick of the stress. I'm sick of being annoyed with people. I'm sick of feeling like I'm just attached to my freaking phone all the time. I'm sick of being tired. I'm sick of not living. Like I could die tomorrow. And have I been living? Is this a life? I don't know. You need to ask yourself. I hope it is. And if not, I want that for you because you deserve it. So have a real little sit down with yourself. Listen to me right now. Are you willing to reflect on part 1 and part 2? Are you willing to commit? Maybe it's getting a walk in every day. Maybe it's doing the sun thing like I just told one of the clients, and do it. Because I will tell you, the results after are incredible. I'm not perfect. I'm not fully there. Like I'm healing with you. And I've slipped back a couple times. And you know what? That's life. That's okay. I'll get back and I'll get better. And don't worry, I'm not even at my best yet. And neither are you. We're going to help each other get there. I had a client who we really dialed in with this with their sports season between this and everything. Wasn't injured once, played every single game and every single playoff game. It's very rare that that has been done. Had another client double down on all of this. And, they shut out the noise. They're like, I got this. I'm committed. We do, preseason, we do off season, and then through season. Broke the record for their position with one of the big things. Hasn't been done in years. Had another athlete. I mean, it's just easier with athletes for you guys to get. Was hurt. Thought, wouldn't be able to come back. Double down on all this. They're back faster, better. Their contract's bigger. It pays off, but it's hard work. And I'm not telling you it's going to be easy because I'm doing it right now too. And it's not easy, but it is worth it. And you're worth it. So save this, share with someone the series, post about it on Instagram, tag me. I'll reshare it. Message me on there what else you want to hear. But I'm so excited for you. You really can get the edge with your mind. It's so powerful. All right, let's go.
Now, if you want to do something really special for me and got a lot out of this episode, go leave a 5-star written review of the show on Apple Podcast. And if you're a Spotify listener, just tap the 5 stars. To submit any of your health questions to the show, simply DM me on Instagram at Dr. Audra Lance. And don't worry, all your questions will be kept strictly anonymous. So send me all your embarrassing questions. And don't forget, breathe into your butthole. Toodaloo!